Hey, this is John, host of the Prepared Mind channel. What does it mean to have the Department of Justice refuse to follow law and policy? What does it mean when the CIA director tells the president that he better watch his tongue? What does it mean, right, when the bureaucracy refuses to follow orders? What it means is we have a serious situation in the United States of America. We have a coup d'etat being performed, and I've talked about this in the past. They are attempting, that is, the enemies of Trump. And the enemies of Trump are the enemies of freedom. And while I don't know what Trump really is altogether, I do know that the enemy of my enemies is my friend. So I'm supporting Trump through this because he's pissing them off mightily, and I like that. But what does it mean to have a coup being performed? Right? It means there's an alternative or an adversarial force in Washington. And I don't think it's just trying to thwart Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. If that was the case, they could just use political opposition in the House, political opposition in the Senate. They could tie things up in committees. They can filibuster. They have a number of political tools that have commonly been used for centuries under our current system. For centuries. But that's not what we're seeing today. By the way, the director of the CIA, Brenner, has been relieved of duty. He has been reassigned, right? He has been fired, right? He no longer holds that position. Yet he is still opening his mouth. How can the ex-CIA director have anything to say at all? It reminds me quite a bit of when JFK fired Dulles. And there was a lot of loyalty to Dulles on the inside. And the CIA helped stage manage with the Secret Service the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, then President of the United States. Trump is facing the same subordination or insubordination. If it was just political opposition, that would be one thing. If it was just the press, that would be one thing. Right? But it's not. It is the press. It is young, radicalized groups on the street. It is the bureaucracy, which is not elected, it's appointed. It's the bureaucracy in Washington that is resisting Trump, as well as political opposition and political leadership. And it's not just current political leadership, it is washed up, excused, defeated leadership on the side of the Democrats. Both Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein, insane Obama. What the fuck does he think he's doing? We had an election. Get out of the way, shut your mouth. Basically, Obama has a golden parachute for the rest of his life. You know, if the man can't manage to get friends, he's got the Secret Service there to talk to at the very least. Right? This is what ex-presidents get. Why doesn't he go gently into that good night? If he wants money, why doesn't he just write books and do speeches the way Bill Clinton does? If he wants fame and fortune, why doesn't he try acting or doing something like that? If he wants more power, go to the UN and head that. But what we've got is a man who does not want to give up power because his mission is more important than his life. That sort of dedication, while admirable in one sense, is very dangerous in another. Because what he is doing, if he hasn't already done it, is border on sedition. So I want to know, where are the investigators? Where's the Attorney General and the Department of Justice? Where is the FBI on what's going on? You know, it's my understanding, based on the reports I get from the news and things that I observe all by myself, is that there is a coup, a resistance force of Democrat, Obama, Hillary loyalists. And it doesn't just stop in the CIA. I'm sure it extends into the Pentagon. If it's in the CIA and in the FBI, you know it's in the Pentagon. Only a fool would think that, oh, the military is perfect and they're always behind their commander-in-chief. Bureaucrats are always supposed to be nonpartisan and behind whoever the commander-in-chief is. They're supposed to execute the law and follow policy and directive coming from the chief executive. But we're not seeing that. What is going on in Washington? We know why the press isn't covering it the way they should. I guarantee that if Reagan's administration had people in Obama's, right, Reagan's bureaucrats and Obama's administration, they would call them every dirty name in the book. They would threaten them with prosecution. They would expose them with the media. They would run them out of this fucking town, Washington, D.C. We know how they act. Democrats pretend to be retarded when it comes to understanding freedom, constitutional authority, and rights. They feign ignorance and stupidity and just do what they want. And when they get a little truth on their side, a little fact, oh, they'll drive that hammer, that stake, all the way through the heart. Right? They'll hammer it home. They know when they've done something right. But when they're wrong, they don't care. They pretend that they're right. And they blindly push forward. So I want everyone in the prepper world to be prepared for what's coming. They are going to push back at Trump. And they're going to try and call everything he does treasonous. They're going to try and say everything he does is unconstitutional. They even use, and this is obvious, they even use the court system, the district courts and the Supreme Court, for purposes of pushing their policies. And the policy is just their belief, how they think, the system should run. Where it should close its eyes and where it should really examine things. That is how disgustingly blind to their own cause Democrats are. I think to the rest of us who love freedom, love individual rights, and love the Constitution, we see what they're doing. And it is patently obvious that they're trying to destroy our nation and create something different. But they just see their agenda. And they think I guess it's right, the right thing to do. But it's obvious who's on the side of right and who's on the side of change. I don't want change. I want my Constitution. I don't want change. I want my freedom. I don't want change. I want my rights recognized. I don't want the government to give me rights. I already have them. I want them recognized. And since we can't stop any of this from the chairs we sit in, what we can do, though, is prepare. And that's why I always finish up by encouraging people to prepare. Give this video a thumbs up. If I get 5,000 views on a video, I think I should see like 4,000 thumbs up. 4,000 of those. The reason is because unless you disagree with me, there's no reason you shouldn't thumbs up this video. Or thumbs up all videos. And I want you guys to thumbs up every prepper video. Every Shit It's the Fan video. So that YouTube pushes this and pushes it. I keep getting in my feed left-wing YouTube websites, left-wing video presentations, left-wing opinion and editorial about what's going on. I have nothing to do with the left wing. If I want their opinion, I'll go to Fox News and get it. I don't need further explanation of mental retardation, right? I don't need further explanation of intellectually divested bilge. I don't need more of that, but YouTube is throwing it at me. So I know they have an agenda. I know they have a way that they use the computer algorithms to make us or expose us to their crap. That's why I say do the thumbs up on real videos, about truth, about freedom, about prepping, about Constitution, about our government, about the law, about what is going on. The real news, not the leftist fake news, not the socialist fake news, not the anti-American fake news. And please subscribe also. But I end every video by saying you have to prepare food, shelter, clothing, right? A means of water filtration, water purification, and self-defense. That is guns, knives, machetes, whatever it takes to protect yourself for your particular situation, where you'll be bugged out or bunkered in. Whether you live in the country or in the city, I need you to get prepared. That's what my whole channel is about. It's about understanding you need to prepare, understanding why you do, so that you have the motivation, the impetus to do it. It's not just something to do. You need to have a reason, and I like to give those reasons. For every person in your family, in your group, 1 year's worth of food. Whether it's long-term food storage or just what you already have in your house. Get a year's worth of it and rotate it and eat it. But always keep it up at 1 year. Whatever gun you think you need, whatever form of self-defense you need, and get training if you're not experienced with weapons. Right? Water filtration. Super critical. Super simple. None of this stuff is rocket science. None of this stuff is difficult. It's just taking the time to do it and then building a plan to deal with what's coming. If we can look out and see what's happening, then we can look inward into our lives and situation and build a plan that works for us. And I want you to do it. Get the help you need from those experienced. Find a group. Work with others. Read the comments down below. The comments from subscribers are fantastic. You can just ask a question, and one of the long-term preppers on this channel will find your question and they should answer it. Or go to someone who sounds experienced in their comments and ask them directly, what would you do? And hopefully someone will have the time to answer you. They commonly do. I see it all the time when I get a chance to go through the comment section. And above all, I thank you guys for being good Americans. That's right, good Americans. Not the bad Americans, but good Americans who believe in freedom, who believe in responsibility, who believe in preserving our Constitution, who believe in liberty. Those are the good Americans. The bad Americans do the opposite. They break the law, they destroy, and they want to change what we have to something that they hold dear in their hearts. And that is some sort of systematized slavery where everyone's equally miserable. And I want nothing to do with that. All right, this is John, host of the Prepared Mind channel, saying thanks again for tuning in. Click the share button. Share this video with friends via Twitter, Facebook, GChat, email, text, you name it. But you have to hit the share button and share. It's critical if you know people that need help. They may not believe you, but maybe they'll at least listen to a little bit of what I have to say. All right, and thanks again to everybody for clicking fan funding, for clicking the support button and supporting this channel. It helps me out greatly. All right, guys, you have a great day. Eyes open, semper fi. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours.